should community marketing efforts focus on attracting others already in crypto, or instead attract others from the real world? Well, I think both. I think that there's different levels of marketing and different types of people that we'd like to attract into the Ergo community. Of course, other crypto people, because they understand fundamentals, or at least some do. Understand what fundamentals are good. P2P currency really is all about, what the blockchain movement is all about. And if they do understand it, they'll find Ergo really attractive, like I did, for example, like many in the Cardano community do, actually. But it's not this or that. It has to be both. So I think that part of what needs to happen to attract the people that are not blockchain people specifically, so to attract them into the community, we need to have more real world adoption. We need to have more of just making people's lives easier and better using what the technology that we have. In fact, one of Ergo's mottos is blockchain for everyday people. And as the community grows, as the ecosystem grows, and as more projects develop and come out and become more and more adopted, I think more and more that is good marketing, and that's something that we can use to market to people that are not particularly in the blockchain and crypto space, but would be interested. How did this happen? How did microlending happen? Say how did Ergoline happen? How did this DAO, right? How did this DAO run my local store? Right, my local store decided they're a DAO, and then they changed to the DAO system, and now actually it runs better and it's much more efficient. How did that happen? People are naturally curious, and I think that the more we get, the more natural and mainstream adoption we get, a wider adoption we get, the more it can be used for marketing to people who are not necessarily blockchain people. What do you think, Joe?
I think education is important. Whether it's developer education, educating people that are already in the crypto space, educating people that are new to the crypto space, educating people that are potentially looking into the crypto space, and obviously user education as well, in terms of like the risks and how to work with the ecosystem. I think all of that is huge. And, the reality is, in our industry, I think that collectively the idea of really educating users is very much buried behind, shiny marketing, right? And I tend to say, in terms of like organic efforts, education is going to be the way long term. It number one will help bootstrap everything, and sometimes shininess is just a temporary facade in this industry. So I think people need to keep that in mind too. Is your intent really to educate and improve, have good discussions, or is it just to kind of shill, right? And so, like long term, if you could ask the question, like someone in the real world that has no exposure into this industry, how do you educate them in a way that protects them, not gets them excited, and then what do they buy, Dogecoin when Elon Musk is on Saturday Night Live, and then they're destroyed financially, right? Like we really need to focus on education. So I would, to some degree, want to use a different word there versus marketing. Marketing is not bad, but good marketing is education, right? And if you have educate someone on and it's valuable, it tends to sell itself.
Yeah. Totally agree. That education is always a really good entry point into markets that you're not already. It's not intimidating. People like to learn naturally, and if you just make it palatable, if you make it digestible and approachable, then yeah, people will go for it, because the worst thing that's going to happen is that they're not going to get it. They're okay. I don't get it. It's like, okay, I still don't get it. Oh well. But most people will get it if it's a good education course. This is why I'm so passionate about this course that we're doing in Thailand, is because I really think that this is something, and not just in Thailand. I want to make this. I want to make this happen in many different places, and that is because it's so important to really have a medium to really be able to tell people about it, where they're not intimidated by it, where they're not put on the spot by it, and where you can actually take the time to truly explain and understand what these things are about. To spend time with people, and to maybe do something one-on-one, or 1-on-10, just small groups, and really getting it through to people, because it has a network effect, right? So you have a group of 10 people that you really get through to. You get through to these people, they get it where they didn't get it before, they now get it. Those people go out and they'll talk to a bunch of other people. Each one of them will go out and they'll explain things to people that weren't in it. And before you know it, that 10 people talk to 10 people individually, so now it becomes, 110 people. So it just spreads out, there's this network effect, this butterfly effect that happens. And it just happens with education, because people want to learn, and then people want to tell other people. If something is cool, if something is exciting, they want to tell other people. So yeah, definitely education. Absolutely.